Oh, we're on the last one. Last vid. Last most anticipated awakenings for unit abilities. I hope you guys' units, your favorites, made it, because if they didn't, then that means they didn't probably really stand out that much to me. So they're probably not that good, or they don't have awakenings at all. So let's dive right in here. These are the ones we're gonna be listed in this video. They're pretty cool. Don't leave. No, I'm kidding. You guys can leave if you want, whatever. Chizuru. Not really getting a whole lot of love. I have her in here mainly because a lot of people have her, because she's one of the better units to have. Yes, LB fill rate goes from 100% to 300%. Super cheap to upgrade. I guess if you want to use her LB, you get this. Gonna go with that. 2 thumbs down. So this one's actually pretty interesting. Also really cheap to get. Only uses 1 tier 4. Goes from a 20% chance to dodge physical attacks to a 40% chance to dodge physical attacks. Chizurus with this are gonna be stupid in arena, probably. You know, oh look, I have like a couple quick assaults in like Arena Luciama Chizuru, and she can't be hit anymore. Whoops. Great, I'm looking forward to it. Super awesome, I love it. Or even just like 40% chance to dodge physical attacks. Like Ling's annoying enough as it is. I don't want to see a team of Ling and Chizuru. Stuff's annoying. Alright, so what else? Does she get anything powerful? Well, kind of, but I would have to vote against upgrading this at all. Maybe the other 2 things if you're constantly using Chizurus. But this is just it's just too expensive. Because this is like the last video. We've seen quite a few skills that cost this or less. Like, I don't know, all of Randy's skills and stuff. You don't get that much out of it. You really don't. You go from 140% 5-hit physical attack to a 200% 5-hit physical attack. Yes, it's ignoring 50% defense, so it's a 400% multiplier versus 180% multiplier. And yeah, the MP does go down from 35 to 25. Yes, it's strong, right? It makes it a pretty strong move. Also, this is called Phantom Shadow, fully upgraded, not Don't Die, Rem. Hello? But that's really expensive. That's really expensive for a unit that you're probably trying to replace, or you're probably trying to use just to chain with, and her damage isn't as important as your chain finisher. So I think you could find better use for those crystals instead of using them on Chizuru herself. So that's my main thing with Chizuru. But we do have Cloud of Darkness. I've used Cloud of Darkness for a while. I've recently dropped her in and out of my team on and off for other supporting units, but it's nice to see that her main damaging move, her best move, gets a little bit better. Yes, Barrage has fallen out of favor, but hey, this goes from a 4. It's a single target hit. I have it listed as 1 hit because that's what it is, because she takes a break, like smokes a cigarette, or like, I don't know what she does, makes a sandwich or something in between every hits of Barrage. But she'll do a single hit 4 times for 80%. It's a 0.8 multiplier, 80% of her attack. Fully upgraded, she'll do 5 single target hits for 100% of her multiplier. So it goes from a 3.2 multiplier to a 5.0 multiplier. For how much she really needs a damaging move on your team, if you're trying to, because she's like a physical damage support hybrid, it's probably worth it if you're using her a lot. Because that's a lot of additional damage. It's a 180% increase in damage, and it's unlike Chizuru's, who was about the same amount of damage increase. This isn't like super expensive. It's still moderately expensive to the point where you should probably think about it, and I'd only do it if you're constantly using Cloud of Darkness and you're constantly trying to barrage things and do damage with her. But it's still something to think about. She does get some other cool things. Most notably, Cloud of Darkness is known for her Man-Eater Plus. If you upgrade it, also not the most expensive thing ever. But you are going to have to like ration out your crystals, your crysts here, because like I said, we've gone through quite a few units, and it's not all of them. These are like all of the best ones, all of the super good ones that I've seen that have come out. Majority of them are power and support crysts. Some technique crysts, a couple guard crysts, a couple black, a couple healing, but majority are power and support. And you can't enhance all your guys. So what does she get here? Well, it goes from 75% physical magical damage to humans to 125%. Super good. But only do it if you plan on using Cloud of Darkness for a long time on your team. What else does she get? Omniveil. This one is actually like her best enhancement. So we go from AoE 30% elemental all resist. Spend some support crysts. Not super expensive, but this one's probably worth it. Drop the MP cost from 53 to 40. That's relevant because Cloud of Darkness has like super low MP. And all resist plus 30% still for elements, but then you gain AoE plus 50% all status element. So like paralyze, slow, confuse, blind, poison, all of that cool stuff. Petrify, 50% resistance added to all of your characters. Why is that important? Well, if you're like moderately new to the game, you know, your unit selection isn't quite there yet. You don't have units who are natively immune to everything. You don't have a unit that can make your whole team immune to everything. You know, you don't have like Marie in your back pocket or something. You can use this to mitigate a lot of people getting hit by status elements on your team. So it's pretty good. It's pretty strong. The other thing that it's notable for is that like Cloud of Darkness has 30% natural immunity to all status ailments. So you can have Cloud of Darkness on your team. Omniveil, she's got 80% chance to resist any status element. And then, like I said, if you're new, you don't have all the accessories to make everyone immune to everything. Cloud of Darkness will probably be immune to almost all of the things through her passive and Omniveil, and then you have Return on her to heal everyone else from all the status elements of your team. So probably super good pickup for new players, because it allows you to just run face first into status elements and like most of the time be okay. Obviously 100% resistance is not 100%, 80 is 80, 100 is 100, right? There's still a chance that you can get wrecked pretty hard, but 80% chance to not get wrecked is better than 0. So if you're new or mid-core or whatever, I'd probably pick it up. Emperor, dude that kind of silently came out and then no one really talked about him ever again, right? So Emperor's like, yeah, he got a new rod and it's better in global than it is in JP. That's crazy, right? Everyone's like, yeah. And then we were like, cool, well, who's Emperor again? So he gets some nifty things. Control here goes from a 5-turn self buff for 100% magic and a 5-turn minus 20% spirit debuff to, for small price of a couple support crysts, an 11-turn plus 200% magic buff. He also sadly debuffs your whole team by 50% spirit. Oops. And then he also does an AoE 11-turn 50% spirit debuff to your opponent. So the Emperor doesn't really care about your team dying, and he just wants to wreck things. Super cool. Yes, you do have a 50% spirit debuff on your whole team. There are ways to combat that, though. There are units that we get in the future who have abilities where they're like, well, your whole team are immune to status debuffs, as far as like they can't have attack down, they can't have spirit down, they can't have defense down. So if you want to build a team comp around that, you can totally just go Emperor, give himself 200% magic, debuff the enemy team's spirit, and then you just ignore the downside of this move altogether with your team comp. So that's pretty interesting. What else does this man get? Well, Fire from Below gets a lot stronger, I'll tell you that much. It goes from a 200% single target one hit magic attack that gets its multiplier boosted by another 200%. Each use up to a max of 10 times. It goes to a 250% base and a 250% bonus each time, and it also gives the enemy minus 25% fire resist. Pretty cool, because in long drawn out fights, you can get this max to 10 pretty easily. Yeah, it's a skill, you can't dual cast it, but if you max that out at 10 with this enhanced, it's a 2,500 bonus plus another 250%, so you're getting 2,750% damage bonus. Okay, and minus 25% fire resist if you don't have any other way to drop the enemy's fire resist. Yeah, no, I could see that totally. Like, he seems good. Plus, you have to keep in mind you have 200% bonus magic on him from the previous buff if you're using it too. So no, that's a huge multiplier in long fights. It's also very MP efficient. 25 MP a shot, that's fine. It's also kind of free considering that he has I'll never die. So a passive you can increase. Natively it's just 10% MP refresh, which if he has 250 MP, you can use fires from below forever because you'll get 25 MP back a turn. What else does it do if you upgrade it though? Well, you get, in addition to the 10% refresh on the MP, you get a permanent plus 30% HP, just stat buff. It's 30% more HP, makes him tankier, harder to kill. He also gets auto regen, not auto regent. He is not a regent, sorry, but he gets a weak auto regen, that's okay. And then he gets 50% chance to ignore up to 3 fatal attacks when HP is above 40%. So this is just like Dragon Lord's passive in the previous video, where if he's at 50% or more HP and he would get killed in one hit, there's a 50-50 or a 40% more HP, excuse me. If he's above 40% or more HP and he's about to get killed by a move, there's a 50-50 shot that he just doesn't take damage and doesn't die instead. And this can happen up to 3 times before he dies. So yeah, like I take a 50-50 shot to not die in addition to having just more HP in general. That's fine for the cheap support cost. If I'm using the Emperor, I value tankiness, and that's just great. So, and he's cool. We have Garland. Yes, we've been waiting. Maybe some of us been waiting. Garland should get his 6-star awakening when Warrior Light comes out. He's currently locked at 5-star. What does Garland offer? Well, Garland will be well, he's not the first unit to break Darkness Resist, but he's one of the first units to do a lot of damage and be a 6-star unit and effectively break Darkness Resist. There's 2 of them. They're both in this unit review or whatever. But we'll go over Garland first. Awaken the Darkness, 14 MP, 5 turn add dark to attacks. Okay, sure. Not the greatest thing ever. What else does it do? Well, if you upgrade it all the way, add 5 turn add dark to your attacks, 5 turn add 50% dark resist, and a 50% attack boost. Sadly not the greatest thing. Poor Garland, might have to turn you down on this one. Those support Crysts are super valuable. I should already have an attack boost on my team. Adding dark to my attacks probably doesn't matter when all the skills I want to use are dark anyway. Plus I think the add X to your attacks are literally your auto attacks. And 50% dark resist might be the only reason you'd ever want to pick this up. You go up against a mob that uses dark moves, well, have dark resist and take half damage. Like I said, I really value tankiness, so if you can spend this and you're using Garland all the time, and you're fighting a dark boss, and it might be your only hope, who knows. So what else does he get? Well, Dark Spiral, 45 MP, 140% AoE one-hit physical attack. Pretty weak damage-wise. It does ignore 50% of their defense, so it's a 280% AoE, not really a 140, it's a 280. Then it gives them 3 turn minus 50% dark resist. Awesome. Okay, it's not a dark move, but I don't think his previous buff actually adds darkness to this move anyway. So you're going to be looking to get like Dark Knight Cecil's Man-Eater. Is it Man-Eater? I forget. Chaos Bringer? So, I don't know. Dark Knight Cecil's TMR sword. Something like that. Whatever. Upgrade this move. It is pretty expensive, but it's also pretty worth it. 180% instead of 140, but it does have the more 40 or 50% defense, so it's a 360% damage attack instead of a 280. So you get like 80% more of a multiplier there. That's fine. Then it gives you a 3 turn minus 75% dark resist. That's a lot. That's 75% more damage. It's 25% more damage than the unupgraded version, but hey, right, that's strong, especially if you have a whole team focused on doing dark like everyone right now has a, not everyone, but like the thing to do is run around with Orlando and focus on light resist. You have Noctises wearing Excaliburs and Furians wearing Excaliburs with your Orlando friends. Well, time to do some dark, right? Garland's there, he's a 3-star base, so whatever. He also gets double hand, attack bonus plus 50% of your gear when using one hand. Level it up, really expensive to level it up. Your attack bonus from your gear is increased by 100% when only using one hand. So this is not Target one hit dark physical attack, super important because you don't need any other kind of nifty equipment to make it dark. It's already dark on its own. Super expensive to upgrade. Totally worth it. So 4 5s and 12 4s, 2 million gil, 38 2s, 25 3s, and 50 1s. What do you get out of that? Well, sadly, you end up paying more life every time you use the skill. You pay 60% of your HP instead of 49%. But it is a 750% multiplier. One hit dark physical attack with a 3-turn minus 100% dark resist. Yes, you will do double damage with all of your dark attacks. So the first one's 750%. Every other one after that is a 1500 multiplier basically, because you're doing double damage. 1500, 1500, 1500, 1500. And until that auto regen plus wears off, you don't have to worry about paying the 60% HP because you heal for 10,000 HP every turn. You just shoot Soul Eaters all the time, every day. Dark Knight Cecil is going to be super strong. Very nice chain finisher. By the way, a 1500 damage chain finisher. Holy crap. Yes, Dark Knight Cecil. Great. Awesome. Great. That finishes my most anticipated unit ability thingamabob or enhancement thing. For all of the units, this should be the last video. If you didn't see your guy, I'm sorry. He probably doesn't get enhancements, or his enhancements are really bad. Most of them are pretty good, so if they're not on here, they probably just don't have enhancements yet. So yeah, hope this helped you guys. Hope this little peek into the future kind of excited you for what's to come. I'm super hyped. Who would have thought Dark Knight Cecil would be like firing off 1500 Soul Eaters and healing for 10,000 HP a turn? All of that crazy kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to make some more stuff for you guys. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll catch you guys there. Peace.